Good morning. Is it morning or afternoon? All right, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. And how are you all doing? Great. By the way, I'm not from the United States. I do have an office in the United States. I am from the United Kingdom, so not very far. Okay. But this morning or this afternoon, I'm here as a keynote speaker to lay foundation for our summit, which is themed Upsurge. Can I get some energy in the house? And everybody shout, Upsurge. I can't hear you. I can feel the energy. Please join me also to appreciate all the organizers of this event from the Danny Group, the SUG Group, and also our leadership of this organization, which is in the person of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Fashino, and his entire team for this wonderful institution here. Now, we got to understand that these are very critical times, and we need a lot of information. And I think that is why this particular summit is very important. My name is JD Modede. JD Modede. I do a lot of things, but one of my greatest passion is leadership, but also I just look for problems and find solutions. And it's so nice to have all my dear brothers here this afternoon as well. Listen to me, guys. I've got only 20 minutes, which is about to start, okay? But I want you to give me this 20 minutes because it's going to be very vital to what you become, what you do, and what is going to happen to us as a people. There is a need for young people to rise up and seize the moment. There is a need for you and I to understand what we need to do at this time. And that is why such a conference like this or summit like this is vital, that we all come together to listen, to learn, and share ideas together. Why? Because the times that we're in are very terrible times. We have a world in crisis. We have a continent in crisis. We have a nation in crisis. Either you believe it or not. And don't just live in your own cocoon because you have a few naira in your pocket, you drive a cool car, and you have a nice look. That's not going to cut it. The country where you live is in crisis. Even some of us might be thinking of running away from here. The world where you live is in crisis. So no matter where you go to, there's a crisis. Our world is suffering right now the effect of our negligence or the things that we are doing and we are not doing properly. We have produced a world in and of crisis. We have a world that is in need. I wish I had my slides on the screen so you understand what I'm talking about. Winston Churchill said something. He said, the price of greatness is responsibility. The price of greatness. You want to be great. You want a nation that is great. You want to live in a society that's different. We all have to take responsibility. Responsibility is you responding to the ability that is inside of you. Young people, I'm here to provoke you this afternoon. There's an ability that is inside of you that you got to take hold of and respond to. Your world and your country is not going to change just because you are there. It's not going to change because of the people that are there. You are on the way to that future, and you will need to do something now. Somebody shout, Upsurge. Somebody shout, Upsurge. You know, when the guys came to me and said, the theme is Upsurge, I said, Upsurge, are you sure? Because we got to understand this word upsurge. There is a need for upsurge. It's an upward surge in the strength or quality of something. It's what we call advancement. We need a time to advance in our thinking, advance in our quality of life, advance in the way we do things. You know, I was speaking to a group of people, a bank actually, about a few weeks back. And I said to them, anybody, a banking student here? Anybody planning to work in a bank after leaving university? Can I see your hands? Anybody planning to work in a bank? Anybody desire? Okay, I can see those hands. I see those hands. I see those hands. Now, the unfortunate thing is that when you talk about banking right now in Africa and in Nigeria, we need a lot of advancement. A lot of jobs that you are looking at as jobs, they are not jobs in other places around the world. Everything that you look at in a bank today literally are worked out by one machine, one computer or the other. So thinking of going into the banking industry, you got to begin to think differently, because most of those jobs will not be there by the time you graduate. That is what is called an advancement. You got to advance in your thinking. That's what we call an upsurge. Upsurge is a rising up. I need youths and young people in Nigeria and Africa to rise up to the occasion, to rise up to seize the moment. You need to emerge out of the confines of our myopic thinking. We need to emerge out of the confines of ignorance that has paraded our lands. It is taking a leap or a jump. We need a life that is taking a jump out of the ordinary. Upsurge means a rapid increase. Listen, guys, we need a rapid increase in the way we do things. To surge up means to become stronger and greater. And that is why we have 4 areas that we're going to be discussing today that I want to lay a foundation for. Number 1, for us to see the change that we desire to see, especially in Nigeria and in Africa, we need an upsurge in the cultivation of a leadership attitude among the young people. One of the problems that we're having among young people is leadership. Either you believe it or not, everyone is born a leader, but you need to become a leader. Everyone is born a leader, but you need to become the leader. The leadership that we're talking about is not a title, it's not a position. It is not because you are called the manager or the director or the supervisor. Leadership is more of an attitude than what you do. So young people, can I announce to you, you will need to rise to the demand of leadership development and governance. Today our world is suffering the chaotic of the lack of good governance. But governance starts from you and I. You need to start with self-governance, having control over the affairs of your own life. Governance creates order, and until we have order in our own lives, listen, we can't have order in our nation. Leaders are people who leave their footprints in their areas of passion. My question to you this afternoon, have you discovered your own area of passion? Because that's the place that you're going to use to make impact. Warren Bennis said, leadership is a capacity to translate vision into reality. A lot of people have great dreams, but do you know how to translate that dream into a reality? I said, JD Modede says, that leadership is the discovery of yourself and impacting your world with your discovered self. Do you know who you are? Have you met with who you are? Until you discover who you are, what you have inside of you, you cannot make impact in your world. And that is why cultivating the leadership attitude is very important. Our world has a vacuum of leadership that you and I, you need to feel as you go forward. We need competent, compassionate, and sensitive leadership. We need leadership that's going to give us direction, that is going to give us security, that's going to give us prosperity in our organizations and our nations again. Leadership is the number 1 need of our world. Leadership determines everything. And that is why you need to take the responsibility of leadership. Leadership is the solution to the problems in our society. Listen to me, people, because there's a role that you got to play because you take the lead. Why? Leadership, nothing happens without leadership. Nothing succeeds without leadership. Nothing is transformed without leadership. Nothing improves without leadership. Nothing develops without leadership. That is why we got to grow our leadership. It's in you. It's in you. It doesn't matter where you live on the face of the earth. Listen, I live in Oyekiti, when I come to Nigeria. But while in Oyekiti, I still make impact around the world, around the nations of Africa, around the nations of the continent of Europe, in England, in America. I reach out to people while I'm here in Oyekiti. So your environment or where you are located does not limit you. It's what impact are you making to your world. John Carter said this. Listen to this. He said, we know that leadership is very much related to change. As the pace of change accelerates, there is naturally a greater need for effective leadership. Listen, our world that we live in is changing. So therefore, we need young men and women that's going to take hold of the leadership of our nation. Don't leave it to somebody else. Don't blame it on somebody else. I notice we have a wind of blame right now. Even if you don't have food in your house, you blame it on Buhari. You blame it on the government. But let me tell you, we need to take responsibility. 4 key areas we're going to discuss this afternoon. If we need an upsurge, we need an upsurge in leadership. Number 2, we need an upsurge in business and entrepreneurship among the young. Young people, let me announce to you, you need to find your passion. Why am I saying that? Because passionate people are entrepreneurs. Can I say that again? Passionate people are by default entrepreneurs, and money is the byproduct of your passion. If you find your passion, money will find you. If you find your passion, money will come to you. Whatever you are doing and you're not passionate about it, why should I come to you and join you in doing it? You are a business. Can I say that again? You are a business. Everyone sitting here is a business. Business is finding a problem and solving it. Can I say that again? Business is not what you do because you need money. Business is you finding a problem and solving it. Anyone that solves a problem gets rewarded with money. And that is why you got to understand that entrepreneur is one who found an idea so valuable that they are willing to fail and start again. Business begins when you believe you are necessary. Does anybody believe that they are necessary here? Let me give you a short story. Very, very good story. I met a gentleman the other day. I was in his business place in this Oyekiti. And he said, "Sir, I know you very well." I said, "How come?" He said, "I always watch you. When you go to your farm," I'm a farmer as well, "and you are looking at your fish." I said, "What happened to you?" He said, "For many years I was trying to get into foyer and I could not get an admission. So I started a business. Now the guy is getting the whole of foyer into his business." Can you imagine that? He found an opportunity. He found a problem and he solved the problem. Now the whole of foyer is going to the place, including myself. I was going to the place. I'm telling you, every problem is a business. Have you looked around your demography? Have you looked around your community? And do you find a problem that you're equipped to solve? If you solve a problem, life pays you, irrespective of the degrees that you have or you do not have. I have quite a lot of degrees, but none of my degrees am I working with. You know, I went for a degree in University of Ife. I went to 2 master's degree in the United Kingdom. I am a certified accountant. I'm also a certified IT consultant. I developed most of the systems in Barclays Bank in the United Kingdom, but I am not using any of that to do anything right now. Am I talking to somebody? I am looking for problems all around the nations of the world to solve. Whoever solves a problem becomes wealthy. Did you hear what I said? Whoever solves a problem becomes wealthy. Our world does not lack money. It lacks visionary men, women. We need an upsurge. Number 3, in the media and the civic space. Did you hear that? We need an upsurge. Where? In the media and the civic space among the young people. Listen, Joe Biden said this. He said, "No fundamental change occurs merely because government acts. It's because civil society, the conscience of the country, begins to rise up and demand change." You will need to place a higher demand on yourself. You need to place a demand on your institution. You need to place a demand on your government. You need to place a demand on your community. You need to place a demand on yourself. That is when there's going to be change. Media, we need an upsurge in media. Social media today is what I call a double-edged sword. At its best, social media offers unprecedented opportunities for marginalized people to speak and bring much needed attention of the issues they face. Now, what is interesting is the power and the impact of media. So we must try and use media in a good way. Don't only use social media to take a photograph. Some people take a photograph of their butt. That is not what media is for. Media has positive and negative impact. We got to use it for the positive. Young people, I want to challenge you to arise up to take advantage of the benefit of social media. Don't just use it to waste and burn time, but use it to change and impact your community. It's a tool that gives a voice to the voiceless. You want to become a voice without putting a face to it, use media. We need an upsurge in the academics and the career space among the young people of Africa. We need to challenge what we call education again. Our young community needs to evaluate the quality of education, the purpose of academic development and career path. Now listen to this. We need to arise up and challenge the quality of education we are currently receiving. Listen, students, you are all students here, and you're receiving one level of education or the other. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? Now, the fact that you came to this university doesn't mean that you are educated. The university education we have today, the secondary school education we have today, is what I call just normal literacy. A for apple, B for boy. Because this only is going to give you a platform for you to build your life. Because the real true sense of education is from a Latin word called educare. The word educare means to bring forth. That means education is not something that you just hand over to somebody. Education is you discovering what is inside of you and educating it. It is empowering what you have inside of you. And until you discover that, you'll find out that what you have with a degree is just what we call literacy. It is time for you to draw out the quality person that is inside of you. We need to advance to purposeful education, not just literacy. Also, it talks about career. We're going to be looking at academics and career. But what is career itself? The word career is from the word caros in the Latin form. And it means vehicle. It means wheeled. This is what will wheel you through life. So if you are not able to tie your education and make it a career, if you are not able to discover your gift and make it a career, then you don't have literally anything to wheel you through life itself. What's in a career? We have a skill, we have jobs, we have purpose, we have your work in a career. I challenge you, young men and women. I challenge you, Foye. I challenge you, everyone that is listening to me, either on social media, on Zoom, all around the nations. I challenge all our network and our associations today. I challenge you to rise up to the occasion to change the paradigm. I challenge you to emerge out of the confines of ignorance that has plagued our land. You cannot afford to remain in the same place, but advance. Somebody say advance. Somebody say advance. Somebody say advance. It depresses me, people tell you that we are far behind, but it's not over until you stop growing. It's not over until you stop growing. We need to advance in our thinking. This forum is to empower you to take a leap forward. This forum is to empower you that you will not be buried by the crisis of our world. You and I can make a difference. Our world is depending on the young people, and it doesn't need a lot of them. Just a few of you can make a difference. Don't just live to make a living. You got to live to make a difference, and you can make a difference. So to surge up means you need better quality of knowledge. You need better quality of thinking. You need a better quality of mindset. We need to move rapidly because there's no time. The world is moving so quickly. The world is moving so quickly. You know, today I saw my mom sent me, a picture of a car. It's one of these this new cars they do in the US, and literally the car has no engine oil, no water to be poured. It's all battery and solar. Everything is just clean, and we are still battling without electricity. We don't have electricity in our towns. We don't have electricity in our nations. Even the presidency, we don't have electricity. What a world we live in. We need to move rapidly. Nigeria needs you. Africa needs you to rise up. The conclusion of the matter is this: young people, as we go to the sessions that is going to follow, my co-speakers are going to be dealing with this. We need rapid growth in cultivating leaders. We need to advance the use of media. We need to surge up our entrepreneurial spirit. And lastly, we need an unusual rise and quest for knowledge for purposeful education. It is time for us, young men and women, to rise up and seize the moment. Somebody shout upsurge. I can't hear you shout upsurge. Thank you very much, and get ready for what is about to happen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.